This sentence isn't an empty hypothesis. It's a choice imagined with precision. Because if I lost everything today, absolutely everything, and had to start from scratch with a single goal, becoming a millionaire in 2025, I would already know exactly what to do. No skipping steps. No relying on luck. No chasing fantasy promises. Just focus, systems, mindset, and momentum. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do. Step by step. Thinking like someone who needs to generate $1 million, not in 10 years, but in 12 months. That demands a different posture, and a sense of urgency that only those who have built themselves and rebuilt themselves truly understand. Like the video now, subscribe to the channel, and come with me. Because what I'd do in 2025 if my goal were $1 million might be exactly what you need to start doing today. 1. I would choose a single scalable vehicle and ignore the rest. If I had to chase my first $1 million in 12 months, the last thing I'd do is over-diversify. I wouldn't try to create 5 income streams at once. I'd pick one vehicle and pour all my energy into it. Physical products? Nope. Real estate? Not yet. I'd choose something with 3 characteristics: high profit margin, low operational cost, fast scaling potential with authority and positioning. In my reality, it would be something digital. Something I master, can teach, offer, or turn into a service with quick, verifiable delivery. The secret here isn't variety, it's depth. Because people who grow fast focus. Those who try everything lose traction. For the first 90 days, I'd talk only about this. Live it, refine it, and turn that vehicle into my direct channel to results. Do you already have a clear vehicle? Or are you still jumping from one opportunity to another? Comment, my focus is my asset, if this reminded you that the first step is to stop scattering your energy. 2. I'd package my skill in a simple, irresistible, and sellable way. The skill I have today, whether it's writing, teaching, planning, selling, creating, would instantly become a product. And it wouldn't be complex. It'd be clear, with a straightforward promise, direct language, and delivery that solves a real problem. I'd ask, what problem do I solve quickly and efficiently? How much is that worth in the market? How can I deliver it at scale without sacrificing quality? Packaging my skill would be my second step. And most importantly, I'd make an offer without perfection. No polished website, cinematic branding, or fancy names. Just a valid offer, clearly communicated, with a direct call to action. What drives sales isn't aesthetics. It's clarity of offer, direct communication, authority in delivery. With this simple packaging, I could sell consulting, mentorships, digital products, or services. No inventory, no third-party dependency, full control over the process. Today, the market rewards those who solve problems clearly. And if I wanted my first $1 million in 2025, I'd sell solutions, not perfection. Do you already know what you can offer? Or are you still waiting for everything to be perfect to start? Comment, my skill is a product. If this showed you that your first $1 million starts with what you already know. Beas, I'd build a daily sales routine. Like my income depends on it, because it does. If I had 12 months to make my first $1 million, sales would be the absolute priority. Not something I remember to do, but a daily, structured, consistent habit. I'd set aside at least 1 hour per day dedicated solely to selling, sending proposals, reaching out to old contacts, presenting my offer through content, direct outreach with education and intent, following up with those who showed interest. I wouldn't wait to go viral, nor would I only make offers when someone asked. I'd sell with rhythm, fearlessly, shamelessly, because I understand that those who fear selling are choosing to stay invisible. And most importantly, I'd treat every conversation as a relationship builder, not just a conversion, because today's chat might be tomorrow's contract, if you stay consistent. Today, a lot of people hide their offers. I'd put mine front and center, proudly. Are you selling consistently, or leaving money on the table by not having a routine? Comment, sales are my daily priority, if you understand that high revenue comes from consistent action. 4. I'd show up with positioning, not desperation for attention. If I wanted to become a millionaire in 2025, I wouldn't post just to fill the feed. I wouldn't show up just to stay present. I'd use every appearance as strategic positioning. Every time someone saw me, they'd be clear about 3 things: who I am, what I solve, why I'm the best choice for that. My communication would be firm, without trying to please everyone. I'd create content focused on authority. I'd talk about my offer frequently and confidently. And I'd show behind the scenes, social proof, and my vision, not just aesthetics. I'd show up as who I already am, even if still in the making. Because the market buys clarity, and if you show up with doubt, you'll receive doubt in return. Today, my digital presence would be treated like an ongoing campaign, because I understand that those who position themselves strongly shorten the path to the sale. Are you showing up as a main character, or still asking for permission to be heard? Comment, my presence positions it doesn't beg, if this part pulled you into a new level of communication. 5. I'd treat my mind as an asset, not something secondary. Nothing sabotages a millionaire plan faster than a poorly managed mind. Because there's no point in having strategy if you're dominated by anxiety, doubt, comparison, and self-sabotage. And if I wanted my first million in 2025, I'd care for my mind with the same dedication I give my revenue. I'd start with simple but powerful rituals. Waking up 1 hour earlier to create silence before the chaos. Writing down what I think and feel, unfiltered. Meditating for 10 minutes, even if just with music. Reviewing my vision weekly as a route reminder. These small practices would shield my mind against distractions and insecurities, because a confused mind delays. An overwhelmed mind gives up. A healthy mind executes, with lightness and precision. Today, my emotional calendar is as non-negotiable as my financial one, because I know no one hits 7 figures with a noisy head. Are you treating your mind as strategy, or as a luxury? Comment, my mind is part of my plan, if this part reminded you to protect the foundation of everything. 6. I'd set non-negotiable weekly goals and treat them as deliverables, not attempts. If I wanted to build 1 million in 2025, I wouldn't rely on seeing how the month goes. I'd set ultra-short-term goals. Weekly, clear, direct. Nothing generic like grow my audience or get more engagement. My goals would look like this. Close X contracts per week. Generate X new leads. Produce X sales-focused content pieces. Earn Y per week. And most importantly, I'd treat these as deliverables, like someone's waiting for those numbers on Monday, even if no one is. Because I understand consistency builds traction, and traction builds scale. Today I live by weekly goals, and that removes the weight of I'll try, and replaces it with I'll deliver, even with setbacks, even through the highs and lows. Are you waiting for results to just show up, or already delivering your goals like someone running a big project? Comment, my weekly goals are non-negotiable, if this activated you for the kind of discipline that changes the game. 7. I'd validate everything on the battlefield, not just in my notebook. If I wanted my first million in 2025, I wouldn't spend weeks planning things I haven't even tested yet. I'd learn from the market's response, not just my gut. Because I've learned, clarity comes from action. Refinement comes from friction. I'd launch a simple product in 10 days, even without all the modules ready. I'd offer my service even before having well-known case studies. I'd post the offer even without the perfect video. I'd message people even without a rehearsed pitch. Feedback would come through mistakes, rejections, and doubts. But so would the wins. And it's there, in the battlefield, that you build something sellable, scalable, and validated. Today, everything I know how to do well started rough, but with urgency to hit the field. I didn't wait for the perfect version. I started with what I had, and I refined along the way. Are you holding back your idea out of fear of failing? Or ready to succeed faster because you tested it early? Comment, I validate in the field, not just in my notebook. If this gave you the green light to start, even if everything's not figured out yet. 8. I'd build authority with consistency, not with cookie-cutter formulas. If I were starting today and wanted to reach 1 million by December, I wouldn't worry about looking perfect. I'd focus on being present, real, direct. The kind of authority that works today doesn't come from cinematic production. It comes from coherence. Repetition. Clarity. I'd post with rhythm. Daily stories. Showing behind the scenes and behind the scenes thinking. Authority content. Unafraid to teach what I know. Testimonials, processes, ideas, quick takes, impactful phrases. And most importantly, I'd repeat my message until the audience could quote me. I wouldn't invent something new every day. I wouldn't create to impress. I'd create to be remembered. Because those who are remembered get hired. Today, my authority isn't built by what I say once, but by what I uphold every day. Are you trying to go viral or become a go-to name in the mind of your ideal client? Comment, my authority is built through consistency. If this pulled you toward more strategic, repeatable content. 9. I'd turn every win into leverage, not a reward. If I made $5,000 today, I wouldn't rush to spend it. I'd treat that amount as war capital, because if I wanted to build 1 million in 2025, I'd need to use every cent as leverage, not to impress, not to treat myself, but to grow. I'd invest in ads to amplify my offer, hire technical or operational support to save time, improve my minimal branding, only what's essential, with purpose, reinvest in what's already proven to work. And I'd keep my structure lean, even as revenue grows, because scaling demands financial intelligence, not just results. Today, I know this is what separates earners from wealth builders. Earners spend, builders reinvest. Are you treating your income as a reward, or as fuel to grow faster? Comment, my money is growth capital. If this part made you rethink where your revenue is going. A 10. I'd stick to the plan till the end, even when it feels like nothing's working. If I had decided to make my first million in 2025, the hardest part wouldn't be creativity. It would be persistence, because there would be days with no sales, weeks of fatigue, internal doubts, external questions. And on those days, the plan would feel pointless. But I'd stick to it, because I've lived that before. I've felt the nothing's working, and kept going. And right after, everything started to unlock. I'd put a visible reminder. My results are on the way, as long as I don't quit. I'd follow my system, reinforce my vision, make tweaks, without changing the plan every week. Because those who switch strategies at every bump never build depth. And depth is where accumulation happens. Authority. Sustainable income. Today my biggest edge isn't talent. It's that I kept going when everyone else quit. Are you adjusting the plan intelligently? Or abandoning it just because results didn't show up fast enough? Comment. I keep going even on the hard days, if this was the reminder you needed. This script isn't an ideal plan. It's a real one. From someone who's already figured out how to build results from zero. No perfect conditions. No shortcuts. Just clarity, action, and systems. If I wanted $1 million in 2025, I wouldn't think about all of this at once. I'd think about how to apply one step today, then another tomorrow, and another after that. Because it's not about speed. It's about rhythm. It's about consistency. And about stopping the delay on what you already know you need to start. Now comment. My building plan starts today. If you understand that wealth is built in blocks, but with a firm decision in the now. And if this video gave you direction, like it now, subscribe to the channel, and send it to that person who needs to stop dreaming and start executing with strategy. Because 2025 isn't the year of maybe. It's the year of execution, if you're ready.